In this slide, a flowchart use SEM, we will focus on that. As a first step, model specification is routed through theory. We have to check that. If it is there, the next step is whether the identifier construct has established scale. Why we have to bother about this? Because as we are aware of that, the established scale ensure the reliability and validity of the instrument. So it is better to take the construct which has got well established scale. If answer is yes, you can proceed for a CFA model. Assume that if answer is no, okay, then it is better to start with developing EFA first, then you can go for CFA. The moment you say EFA, then where will you get the items or where will you get the statement to measure it? So most of the time we will just make item pooling based on outcome of the focus group or in-depth interview and have a large item. Further, to reduce a large item, we may use a EFA. That is a one approach. The other approach is, if the scale is already established, no need to use a EFA, straight away you can go for a CFA. However, there is a lot of discussion is happening here, depends on support of literature and the objective of the researcher also. So what we are seeing is a very generic framework how to use a SEM. So going back, as a first step, make a model specification which is rooted through theory and ensure that you have a proper scale for that. If there is no scale, please use EFA and come to CFA. Otherwise, you can directly come to CFA. In terms of you are using EFA, check the Cronbach alpha for dimension wise rather than checking the whole EFA model, because when you take all EFA model, sometimes it does not make any sense. So it is better to check a Cronbach alpha in terms of EFA model dimension wise rather than checking the whole scale at a time, because there is a possibility in a Cronbach alpha. Assume that if you have a scale contains, or if a EFA model contains 20 items, if you take all 20 items together, your Cronbach alpha will come even 0.98 also. There is no wonder in that. Doesn't mean we are getting a right output. So this 20 may spread for 3 dimension or 4 dimension or maybe 5 dimension. So it is better to check the Cronbach alpha dimension wise rather than taking the whole scale together. Now coming back to this the flow chart of EFA, once you have the proper model identification and proper scale is established, and you can go for a CFA model. Once you get the outcome of CFA, ensure that whether expected theoretical structure is followed or not, because that is a more important. Unlike a EFA, CFA is more theory oriented, it is confirming the theoretical structure. So the first thing is whether the outcomes ensure that expected theoretical structure is followed or not. And second thing is, as usual, we have to check a CR and AV for a dimension wise. Composite reliability should be more than 0.7 and average variance section should be more than 0.5. And check the fit indexes, which includes both good indexes and the bad indexes. That is, as a procedure we have to follow that. If it is yes, when CFA models has got all these things in intact, then we can proceed for path testing as a next procedure. If no, then what we have to do that? We have to check the model specification once again and we have to see that quality of the data. So it is almost like going back from the beginning of the step. If it is yes, we can proceed for path testing. So when you say path testing, which is between a 2 constructs or between a 3 constructs, we are trying to check how far these paths are statistically significant or not. That what we normally call as nomonological validity. If the outcome of nomonological validity ensure that the model is statistically validated, that is what we are saying. Otherwise, if the nomonological validity we could not meet, then refer the theory, or you can create a alternate model to substantiate the outcome with help of the theory. So this is a kind of a generic flow chart to make us to say how to use a SEM.